8 new NFL head coaches were hired this offseason. I want to rank them. I'm going to rank them from worst to best. The worst hire to the best hire. We'll start with number 8, move all the way up. It's worth noting, though, the bottom 3 are hires I don't feel good about. There are 3 hires in the NFL this offseason I just don't think, I don't have a lot of confidence they're going to work out. There are 2 in the middle I feel kind of lukewarm about. I'm on the fence. They could go either way. And the top 3 are hires I feel really, really strongly that they are going to succeed. So we'll start with number 8, the worst, and we'll go up from there. Number 8, the worst coaching hire of the 2018 NFL offseason was the Packers hiring Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur is a 39-year-old head coach. This is his first head coaching job. He's a former quarterback coach for the Falcons and the Redskins. He was also the offensive coordinator for the Rams 2 years ago, and most recently, last year, the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. He's got a lot of ties to Sean McVay, and that's a good move. I think he, as a coach, as an NFL offensive coach, could be very successful. The problem is not Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur is not the issue here, necessarily. The problem is his quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. 2 big reasons, 2 big problems with Aaron Rodgers are this. One is his salary cap. He's making $33.5 million a year. His base salary next year in 2019 is $20 million. He's going to take up a large majority of the Packers cap room for years to come. I don't look around the league and see a lot of quarterbacks. Let's just be honest. The highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL do not win Super Bowls. They didn't even make the playoffs this year. That's a problem. I think that's going to bog down the Packers for years to come. Here's the bigger problem. I do not believe Aaron Rodgers is very coachable. I don't believe this. I've heard this from many people. Former Packers tight end Jermichael Finley recently talked about how he doesn't listen to his coaching. And it shows on the field. We saw Aaron Rodgers this last season run Mike McCarthy out of town. Mike McCarthy, a former Super Bowl winning head coach. Aaron Rodgers got rid of him. You can mince words all you want. That's exactly what happened. Here's the other problem. The Packers' new head coach, Matt LaFleur, is 39 years old. In contrast, Aaron Rodgers is 35. If he doesn't listen to Mike McCarthy, a Super Bowl winning head coach, a veteran in this league, a guy who's been around for a long, long time, why would he listen to a 39-year-old coach, Matt LaFleur, a guy who's only 4 years older than him? There's no way. There's no way Aaron Rodgers is going to listen to Matt LaFleur long-term. When things get dicey, if they struggle at all, he's just going to write him off. What Matt LaFleur is for the Packers is a babysitter for Aaron Rodgers. I do not see Matt LaFleur working out with the Packers long-term. Number 7, the second worst hire of this NFL offseason is the Broncos hiring Vic Fangio. Again, I don't have anything against Vic Fangio. He's the former Bears defensive coordinator. He did a great job with the Bears last year. And honestly, the Broncos defense stands to do really well. They have Bradley Chubb, a great defensive end. They also have Von Miller. The problem, though, is there are reports that the Broncos are drafting a quarterback this year, which means they're going to have a rookie quarterback and Case Keenum on their roster. If we look back at the history of rookie quarterbacks and defensive coaches, it simply doesn't work. It's not. There's one example recently where a rookie quarterback and a defensive-minded head coach have worked out. It's Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. Other than that, it hasn't worked. Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll are the exception to the rule. They are not the rule. Here's the rule. If you look around the league, here's what we see historically, at least in the last couple of years. Last year with the Jets, Todd Bowles, a defensive-minded head coach, got fired after one season with rookie quarterback Sam Darnold. Similarly, same year, Cardinals fired their head coach Steve Wilkes after one season with rookie quarterback Josh Rosen. We saw the Bears fire John Fox after 1 year with Mitch Trubisky. We saw the Rams fire Jeff Fisher after 1 year with Jared Goff. My point is this. Rookie quarterbacks and defensive-minded head coaches are not a good combination. Not to mention all of the quarterbacks in next year's draft class, the 2019 draft class. None of them are particularly talented. None of them are highly touted. That's going to really hurt. The quarterbacks coming into next year's draft class need really good offensive coaching. And the Broncos have not hired a coach that can give a rookie quarterback really good coaching. And so sadly for Vic Fangio, I think he's going to struggle. That leads us to the third worst hire of the NFL offseason, which was the Miami Dolphins hiring Brian Flores, the Patriots' former defensive play caller and linebackers coach. Again, this is something, it's just my belief. I don't think defensive-minded head coaches and young quarterbacks work very well together. Historically, they don't. I love Brian Flores. I'm a big fan of his. I hope I am dead wrong. I hope he succeeds. But I'm not going to rank him very highly on this list because he's got a young, first-time head coach, defensive-minded head coach with a likely rookie quarterback. The reason why he's slightly higher than Vic Fangio is this. There's a chance that the Miami Dolphins trade for Nick Foles. I don't know if that works or not, but hey, at least Nick Foles isn't a rookie quarterback. So that would break my win record. That broke the tie for me. So Brian Flores is slightly higher than Vic Fangio with the Denver Broncos. Here's the other problem with Brian Flores to the Dolphins. The Dolphins play in the AFC East. So not only does that mean they're going to play the Patriots 2 times a year, they're also going to be the only team in the AFC East that doesn't have a quarterback. Massive, massive problem. I do not see Brian Flores working long-term with the Miami Dolphins. So those are the 3 I feel really badly about. I don't believe in the Packers, the Broncos, or the Miami Dolphins head coaching hires. Now let's talk about 2 head coaches I feel kind of lukewarm about. I don't know. We're working our way up from worst to best. The next hire that I feel okay about is Kliff Kingsbury with the Arizona Cardinals. He's a good young coach. He's got some good offensive schemes. He's going to have second-year quarterback Josh Rosen, a guy I think could be successful in the NFL. And one benefit that will help Kliff Kingsbury with the Arizona Cardinals is that in the NFL, he doesn't have to worry about recruiting. That really hurt him at Texas Tech. He was never able to recruit top talent to Texas Tech, but it still isn't a great sign that he struggled at Texas Tech. If you remember, Kliff Kingsbury was the former Texas Tech head coach. He got fired. Then he was given the offensive coordinator job at USC and then promoted and got given a job after 2 weeks to be the Arizona Cardinals head coach. In 6 years with Texas Tech, Kliff Kingsbury went 35-40. 35 wins, 40 losses. And in 2018, his team went 5-7. They fired Kliff Kingsbury. That does not serve well. I don't know. It's hard to swallow a guy who wasn't successful in college. Why could he be successful in the NFL? We'll find out. I feel lukewarm about it. I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know what to feel about it yet. I think that hiring a good offensive mind with Josh Rosen ideally works on paper. But again, Kliff Kingsbury has not been successful in the past as a head coach, so we just got to wait and see. Another middle-of-the-road hire is the Bengals hiring Zach Taylor to be their head coach. He was a Rams quarterback coach last year. He's a really young guy. He's 35 years old. And here's why it's another middle-of-the-road hire. Look, he's a young coach. He's got great offensive schemes. I put him higher on the list because of Andy Dalton. He does, whether you believe in Andy Dalton or not, we can all agree Andy Dalton is a solid, average, middle-of-the-road quarterback. And I think that will benefit Zach Taylor to have some kind of experience at quarterback. And that gives him a leg up on Kliff Kingsbury, who has an unproven second-year quarterback, Josh Rosen. So far on the list, we've had the worst coaching hire is Matt LaFleur with the Packers. He's number 8. Number 7, the Broncos, Vic Fangio. Number 6, the Dolphins, Brian Flores. Number 5, Kliff Kingsbury with the Cardinals. And number 4, Zach Taylor with the Bengals. Now let's move on to 3 hires I feel really, really good about in the NFL. Number 3 and 2 are neck and neck. They are both 2 coaches that got hired to help young second-year quarterbacks. And really what it came down to for me was which team needed their coach most. So the third best hire in the NFL offseason so far was the Browns hiring Freddie Kitchens to be their head coach. If you remember, the Browns fired their former head coach midway through last year's season. They got rid of Hugh Jackson. What they did was promoted their quarterback coach, Freddie Kitchens, to offensive coordinator. Freddie Kitchens did a great job last year with Baker Mayfield. He has now been hired as the head coach. This is his first head coaching job, but here's why I like it. Freddie Kitchens already has an established relationship with the Browns quarterback, Baker Mayfield. In fact, Baker Mayfield was fantastic last year. He set the rookie record for touchdown passes with 27. And even though he's never been a head coach before, that's why he's last on this list of the 3 coaches I feel really good about. I still think it's a great move. I believe in him, and I think, again, the relationship with Baker Mayfield is why this could work really, really well in Cleveland. Now, the second best head coaching hire, I know it's a weird one, I never thought I would say this, is the Jets hiring Adam Gase, the former Miami Dolphins head coach. Remember, he was fired by the Dolphins earlier last season, and in 3 seasons with the Dolphins, he had 23 wins and 25 losses. However, the problem you can argue is he never had consistent quarterback play. Ryan Tannehill, his franchise quarterback with Miami, was hurt every single year. In 2016, they went 10-6, had a good year. Then in 2017, Ryan Tannehill got hurt, and they had to pull out Jay Cutler out of retirement to be their quarterback. They went 6-10. That's hard to overcome. When your franchise quarterback gets injured and is out for the season, it's really hard to salvage your year, and that's actually what Adam Gase did. Going 6-10 is admirable when your whole plan had to be scrapped and reset. Now, in 2018, Ryan Tannehill got hurt again. And what's more interesting about this is, despite losing their franchise quarterback, Adam Gase still found a way to win games. He won games with Brock Osweiler at quarterback. He beat the Bears. The Bears, fantastic defense. Adam Gase beat the Bears with Brock Osweiler at quarterback. Let that sink in. Brock Osweiler, the massive bust who didn't work out after Peyton Manning left, who got hired. He repeatedly failed in the NFL. Adam Gase beat the fantastic Bears defense with Brock Osweiler. I don't know. That means something to me. Gase can really coach quarterbacks. That's his strong suit. So pairing him with second-year quarterback Sam Darnold in New York, that's a pairing I feel really good about. He also knows the division really well. He's going to be eager to beat the Dolphins. And despite, I know, Adam Gase's weird eyes in that interview, I feel really, really good about Adam Gase as the head coach of the New York Jets. Now, the best hire of the 2018 NFL offseason, in my opinion, was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hiring Bruce Arians to be their head coach. If you don't remember, Bruce Arians is the former Cardinals head coach. He also was the Colts interim head coach when Chuck Pagano was getting cancer treatments. In 5 years with the Cardinals, Bruce Arians dominated. He was 49-30 as a head coach, 49 wins, 30 losses. And really the reason why he retired in the first place, it was a perfect storm that led to Bruce Arians' retirement. He had some health issues. His starting quarterback, Carson Palmer, was retiring. He said, look, I'm going to hang it up, go focus on my personal life. I am so glad to see him back in coaching. We often forget Andrew Luck had a great rookie year. That was because of Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians really, really helped Andrew Luck in his rookie year and developed him as a quarterback. Not only is Bruce Arians a quarterback guy, though, he's a no BS kind of guy. He plays you hard and he plays you really straight. He doesn't beat around the bush. He will directly tell you how he feels. He's very honest. He's very open. If you hear him in interviews, he cusses far too much. He gets in trouble on radio interviews. That's going to be really, really good for the Buccaneers quarterback, Jameis Winston. Bruce Arians, the reason why he's the best hire of the 2018 NFL offseason is Bruce Arians might be single-handedly saving the Buccaneers franchise because he might be saving the career of their quarterback, Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston needs help. He's had problems off the field. He's had problems on the field. He's been okay, but he's needed better coaching. This might be the move that helps Jameis Winston and continues his career. Jameis Winston hasn't played awful. Look, he's had a 61% completion percentage, 88 touchdowns, 58 interceptions in the last couple of years. But again, off the field issues have really, really been the problem for Jameis Winston. And Bruce Arians is a stand-up guy. He's a guy that will be hard on Jameis. He'll keep him in line. I think it's going to be massively, massively helpful for Jameis Winston and his career to have a guy, a leader, a veteran, a guy who shoots him straight like Bruce Arians around that franchise. And if the Buccaneers had to give up on Jameis Winston, they'd have to completely reset their entire franchise. They'd be rebuilding. They'd be tanking again. So bringing in Bruce Arians and hoping he can help revive Jameis Winston's career is a huge move. And I think that is why hiring Bruce Arians makes that the best NFL head coaching hire of the 2018 NFL offseason. Oh, I hate doing this. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I really don't like self-promotion. It makes me feel like a used car salesman. But I got to do it. So if you don't know, this is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It's my favorite thing in the world. And you can subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud. You can find it on YouTube. You can find the full entire hour-long podcast on YouTube. You can also find shorter breakout clips like the one you just watched. Please do me a favor. If you like anything I had to say, maybe you hate me and you're mad about something, share this podcast with your friends. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want to do. Help me grow by telling your friends about this show.